Okay, so first, basically, I'm providing you the trainer information, basically my information. So basically, my name is Aditya Chandak, and I was born and brought up in Morena, MP, from India. If people belong to different countries, and I have done Bachelor of Engineering. B. Coming to my personal fact, I like to explore latest technologies, watching and playing cricket. Okay. Now, if I talk about my professional summary, professional experience, can you please speak loud? Okay, sure. So if I talk about my professional experience, so I'm having around 10 years of industry experience on data warehousing and BI profile. And I have trained more than 5,000 plus student professionals across the globe on different technologies like SQL, Power BI, Azure Data Factory, Python. And I have taken more than 100 interviews till date. So it will be vary. It's not fixed like 100 or 5,000, maybe 105 or 5,006, something like this. Okay. And if I talk about the company in which I have worked, so like in HP, Samsung, Nagero, Mastek, all these companies I have worked so far. And I also have, like a couple of years of experience in, client side in UK. Now let's discuss about the final agenda, basically how we are going to cover, and like the training, basically days and duration. So as a part of this training, it is divided into 4 weeks, like 3 days in a week. It would be, TTS, and actually it would be on MWF. This is actually my old slide. That's why it is showing TTS, and it would be 1 hour daily and 12 hours. Okay, so you all are in group. If there is any changes, I'll keep you posted information on group. Okay, so 3 days in a week, it would be MWF, 1 hour daily, 12 hours. Not able to view my screen. Sorry, I'm really sorry, guys. Are you able to see my screen, guys, now? Yes, it is clear. So let me. Okay. Now let's talk about more detail what we are going to cover in first week. So in first week, basically we are going to cover Power BI installation part. So in terms of installation, I have already provided the link. So I hope most of you, or I can say all of you, must have installed the Power BI in your laptop or machine. And we will also discuss about the Power BI connectors, data cleaning, data transformation, Power BI design. So all these things we are going to discuss about as a part of first week, as a part of this training in first week. So if you are new and if you are not aware, about these terms, even cleaning, transformation, or connector, so don't worry, we will discuss each and everything one by one. So you will better understand. Okay. In second week, we are going to basically cover the filters, Power BI filters, and there are different type of filters in Power BI, like drill through filter, visual label filters, page label filters, report label filters, and visualization. Yes, I will provide the recordings. So these things we are going to cover in second week. Again, the same thing. If you are not aware, don't worry, we'll discuss. Okay. If I talk about In third week, so I basically have one pre-recorded video. So as a part of third week, you need to watch that pre-recorded video, and after attending these 2 weeks, you will be create one simple dashboard. So once 2 week has completed, once I will provide the session in these 2 weeks. After that, you need to watch my pre-recorded video and create the dashboard. Once you create dashboard, you need to share the same on LinkedIn and tag to me. So it is not mandatory you need to share on LinkedIn. You can personally share to me as well. Why I'm saying share on LinkedIn? Because if you share on LinkedIn, then most of the people can see your basically dashboard, and you will get opportunity. So that's the reason, but it's not mandatory. It's up to you. Only those students are allowed in last week whoever create the dashboard. So creating dashboard is mandatory, not share on LinkedIn mandatory. Okay. So once you create the dashboard, you can share with me personally, or you can basically post the same on LinkedIn and tag to me. Yes, I will provide this document, so that's not a big deal. That's fine. Okay. Now, if I talk about 4th week, so in 4th week, we'll discuss the other exciting features of Power BI and roadmap of data analyst and Power BI interview questions and job assistance. These all things we will discuss in last week. Okay. So this is the agenda of training. Now let's today discuss about the Power BI architecture. We will understand the high level understanding of Power BI or Power BI architecture. Okay. So before even starting Power BI overview, let me first tell you or discuss about the data visualization. It's free. There is no charges. So first, let me talk about the like leading tool, like leading BI or data visualization tool. So if I give like compare, most of you are aware about the Gartner side. So Gartner provide you the details. So Power BI is the leading tool as a part of data visualization. On the second number, you have Tableau, and third, I'll say MicroStrategy, and fourth, you have ClickView, and fifth, QuickSight. So these all BI tools are using in market. Okay, and Power BI is the most demanding tool. It belongs to Microsoft. Okay, and basically Tableau came before Power BI. So Tableau also most of the companies are using, but again Power BI is the leader. Okay, and other than that, other companies are using these tools as well, and there are some other tools as well, BI reporting. Now let's discuss about why data visualization is important. So let's take an example of any supermarket. If I talk about Walmart in US or DMart in India. So actually what happens if you talk about Walmart or DMart, so there are multiple stores in a specific city and state on on different states. So on day-to-day basis, there are millions of customers come. Okay, so For that, if any company want to, increase or want to take analytics, or they want to take some decision based on the business, so that's the reason we use data visualization tool. For example, like if you go to DMart or Walmart, you have purchased like this, there are multiple customers who have purchased. So here there's not 100 or 200 customers, there are millions of customers who are purchasing day-to-day basis. So there are different stores. So some stores are using, let's say, Excel to store the data, some are using CSV, and some are using other software to store the data. So what we do with the help of data visualization tool, we basically extract all the data, and depending on the requirement, we can create different visuals. For example, we can create like top 5 product, like which product are selling most, and like top 10 customers, and let's say region by sales, area by sales. So there are different options we can find out, and depending on that, business can take decision. Let's say if like if we find out the top 5 product, then they can manufacture that product more. Or if they find out some bottom 5 product, so either they can provide some combo, or they can basically discontinue that product. Okay. And if like sales are basically increasing in any area, then they can open any other store in between. So there are multiple business decisions they can take based on the data. So that's the reason data visualization tool are using nowadays, because every business is using. If you talk about healthcare, if you talk about aviation, so in aviation they can find out the different, like how many flights are running, and how much time flight is taking from distance A to B, and there are different things they can analyze. So again, I would say, if like any business, if they want to if any business want to grow their business, then they are using Power BI or any other BI reporting tool. Which tool is better, Tableau or Power BI? Yeah, actually, there's no such comparison. Power BI has also some advantage, and Tableau also. But since with Microsoft, you got SQL Server, Microsoft Power BI, Azure Data Factory. So that's the reason most of the companies are using Power BI. So if you want to start your career, so I'll suggest you to go for Power BI, because Power BI has more job opportunities. Now let's discuss about the overview of Power BI. So Power BI overview. Power BI is a data visualization and business intelligence tool that converts data from data sources to interactive dashboard and BI reports. So as I already mentioned, Power BI is a data visualization tool and business intelligence that converts data from different sources, maybe Excel, CSV, to create interactive dashboard. Okay. Power BI suites provide you multiple softwares, connector, and services, Power BI desktop and Power BI services. So let me first talk about these two important things, Power BI desktop and Power BI service. So these are the two important part basically. So Power BI desktop, basically it is a place where you do data cleaning, data transformation, and creation of your report. So here you do everything. You basically create, model, transform, and create your report. Basically, you create report you create different charts. Now, what is the use of Power BI service? So in Power BI service, basically you can access Power BI service through internet. So the link would be app.service, something like this. Okay. And in Power BI desktop, basically you develop and design report. It would be on your local machine. It is not available on, to end users. So to make available end users, you need to publish your report on Power BI service. So everything you do on Power BI desktop, it is on your local system, on your local machine. It is not on, it is not on the web browser or the place where, end user can see your report. So for that, you need to publish your report into the Power BI service. We'll cover how we will connect and all these things will be covered in the later part. Okay. Now, if I talk about audience, so this tutorial has been prepared for beginners to help them understand the basic concepts of Power BI. This tutorial will give you enough understanding on Power BI from where you can take yourself to a higher level expertise. So again, this will give you the basic understanding on Power BI from where you can take yourself to a next level. Basically, how to use different Power BI function, how to connect with data, how to do data transformation, how to use DAX. So this will give you the idea of everything. Okay, but again, to if you want to go for high level, you need to after that you need to I will provide you the source from where you can learn advanced. Okay. If I talk about prerequisite, so prerequisite before proceeding with this tutorial, you should be familiar with Microsoft Excel, data modeling, and have some knowledge of any programming language. If you have some idea of Excel, data modeling, and any programming language, so that is not mandatory, that is good to have. Okay. But if you don't have, so don't worry, because you will learn step by step here. Okay. Now let's try to understand the Power BI architecture. 100 of data sources. First, try to understand this. So actually, before even creation of a report, you first need to connect with the data source. So previously I have given an example of supermarket. So your data, basically their data is stored in Excel, CSV, or any other software like any other database or cloud. So you need to connect with that data source. So Power BI provide you 100 plus data sources, 100 plus data connectors. So depending on the business requirement, you can connect with the data sources. So first step is you need to open Power BI desktop and you need to connect with the data source. Okay. Once connect with the data source, then you have data available in the Power BI desktop. Okay. After connecting, you can do data cleaning, you can do data transformation, and you can create report. Okay, you can design your data model. So these all things you will do in Power BI desktop, as I mentioned earlier. So again, don't worry if you are new and if you don't have any idea, we will do this practically. Okay. So now let's say you have imported the data from any data sources, and after that, let's say you have created your report in Power BI desktop. Now what next? You have to, you have to publish this report to make available for end user. So once you create your report, you need to publish this report into the Power BI service so that in your organization people can see or end user can see. Okay. Once you have published the report, then you can access, or everyone can access from either mobile, iPad or laptop, so they can access from the different system. Okay, now data source done, report done, and then publish, and user can access. Now what is the role of Power BI gateways? Okay, let's try to understand. So let's say today, today's 31st May. You have data till 31st May. Now, we now after 1 week, 7th of June, people want to see the data. So for that, you should have current data. Okay, so for that, Power BI gateway comes into the picture. Actually, Power BI gateway is an intermediate layer between your on-premises database and Power BI desktop. So with the help of Power BI gateway, you can refresh your data. You can basically schedule so that it will be refreshed on the different frequency. So that's the reason we use Power BI gateway to see the latest data in your report. Okay. Next. So Power BI desktop, as we have already discussed, this is used to create reports and data visualization on the data set. Power BI gateway, we have also discussed, you can use Power BI gateway. So when data is updated, could you please unmute? No. Yes, Binod.
Can you go to this architecture flow diagram?
Yes, sure.
So just want to understand, right, how this
Yes.
how it will work, right? So I understood that we'll connect to the multiple sources, then it will go to desktop, where how the flow is happening. These arrows are, I didn't get that. Hello.
I was on mute. Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah. So first you will connect the data sources.
Yes.
After that, your data set is available on the Power BI desktop.
Okay.
Then you can you do cleaning, transformation, and creation of your report in the Power BI desktop itself.
So you
Once,
mean that I will clean the data and generate the report here in the desktop, right?
yeah, everything you do in desktop.
Okay.
Okay. Once your report is ready, you can publish your report on Power BI service to make available for end user. After that, suppose end user have some issue in report, then you can download the same report from the Power BI service and you can make changes and you can republish your report again on Power BI service. So similar step you will repeat. Okay. And after that, Power BI gateway, as I already explained, to refresh your data on, to see the latest data, current data. Don't worry, if we, practically connect and will do data cleaning and transforming, then you will better understand. Okay. Welcome. Okay. Power BI mobile apps means using mobile apps, you can stay connected to their data from anywhere. Power BI apps are available for Windows, iOS, and Android platform. So you can basically see your report on Windows, iOS, and Android on multiple platforms. Power BI service, I have already explained. This is a cloud service and used to publish Power BI report and data visualization. Okay, let's talk about Power BI data sources. So Power BI basically support large range of data sources. Yes, we'll do changes in desktop only and then we will publish. And Power BI support large range of data sources, and you can click get data, and then it will show you all the options. So whenever we will do practical, then you will more understand where we need to click and how we will show how we will see all the data connectors. Following are the available data sources like flat files, SQL databases, OData feeds, blank query, Azure Cloud Platform, online services, blank query, and other data sources as Hadoop, Excel, or Active Directory. So these are few examples. So this is other I'll say important part, Power BI components basically. So if I talk about the different components, Power BI service, I have already explained. It is a cloud-based. We need to be basically publish the Power BI desktop report on Power BI service to make available for end user. Second is Power Query. So Power Query is a place where basically you do transformation or data cleaning. So basically if you need to remove the blank rows, or if you need to replace some value, if you need to add some custom column, like if you need to do some calculation like sales minus cost, something like this. All these things you do in Power Query. Power Pivot, basically in Power Pivot, you create data model, you create relationship. Power BI Q&A, basically it is an internal feature of Power BI. So actually what happens when you create the report based on the data set, so you cannot create all the graphs. So there is some let's say you have created 5-6 visual in one page, and on another page you have created. So don't worry, I'll discuss about the what exactly each page and all. But Power BI Q&A is a inbuilt feature of Power BI. It basically provide you the answer of your question. It basically create a graph on runtime when you enable this. So let's say you have Superstore data, and after enabling Power BI Q&A, let's say you have type top 5 customer. So it will automatically create the top 5 customer graph. You have basically written, let's say, yearly sales, current year sales, or previous year sales. So it basically try to provide the as much as possible 70-80% answers. So whenever we will practically see this, then you will again better understand. Yeah, Power View, actually it is your first page where you create a visualization where you see visuals. Power Map, basically you have different map option to show region wise, if you want to say country wise. So you have it basically type of map. Data management gateway and data catalog, it is not I'll say as much important. It just store your metadata. Okay, so I think I have already talked about all these things. Now let's talk about one important concept of Power BI, building blocks of Power BI. Yes, I'll share this PPT, don't worry. Building blocks of Power BI. So everything you do in Power BI can be broken down into following building blocks. A good understanding of these building blocks would help you understand concepts and will let you create detailed and complex report. So you should have, understanding of the main building blocks. For that, Power BI has broken down the important concept or important, blocks which use on while creating report, which use frequently while creating report. So it is divided into 4 parts. First is visualization, second is data set, third is report, and fourth is dashboard. So let's try to understand one by one everything. Visualization. What exactly is visualization? So visualization is representation of data is called visualization. So in Excel, generally you have data in tabular format, combination of row and column. But that data you have to convert into the visual format. So visualization is nothing, it is a representation of your data in graphical format. For example, a chart or graph can be used to represent data visually. Power BI gives you different visualization type, which keeps getting updated with time. So Power BI have multiple visualization type in which you can show your data like pie chart, bar chart, okay, and which keep getting updated. So like on time to time, few visuals is added, or there are few visual that keeps updated depending on the business. So there are few examples like map representation, card visualization, stacked area chart, tree map, pie chart. So if you see, these all are the example. So this is the bird map, this is the card, this is the area chart, this is the pie chart. Yeah, in some extent, as a part of this training. Okay, so you will see the data in this format. Now let's talk about second important building blocks, that is data set. So what exactly is data set? So data set is nothing, it is a collection of data or information. Basically, again, similar example, when you import the data from Excel or CSV or any cloud store or any OLTP database. So you have data in the format of table and row. So first you need to connect with your data set. So for connecting data set, you know the like data source, then you have the different connection string like related to OLTP, like different way to connect on different databases. So once you connect with the data source, then you have data set. So that is basically data set. So if I take example of any like supermarket, you have, let's say, CSV of supermarket data. You have option in Power BI to connect the data with that CSV. So your whatever data is in your CSV, that is data set exactly. Okay. It can be a simple data set or combination of many different sources. Again, Power BI provides you feature. You can basically connect with one data sources or multiple data sources in similar report. Maybe you have one source SQL Server Analysis SSAS, and another source SQL Server database, and another source, let's say Oracle, and another, let's say Excel or CSV. So you can connect with the multiple data sources in one report. For example, you can pull together data from many different sources like different database fields and Excel, as I have already mentioned these things. So first part is visualization, second is data set. So data set, you will see like this in the tabular format. This would be your data set. Now let's talk about reports. What exactly is reports? So collection of visualization that appears together on one or more pages is a report in Power BI. So if you see here, we have seen this visualization. So these are the collection of visualization. So collection of visualization on one page or multiple pages is called report. So in Power BI, we have option to create multiple pages. So to create visuals on multiple pages. So let's say you have one page and there are 5 visual in that page. You have another page, then there are again 3 or 4 visual on that page. You have another page. So you can create multiple pages. It's not like any restriction, like you can create 3 page or 4 page. So you can create multiple pages. So again, if I talk about report, so report is collection of visualization that appears together on one or more pages. Okay. Now you can create visualization on multiple different pages. if necessary, and arrange them in a way that suits your story best. You can also drill down the one report to another report from different pages. So once you create the visualization, you can arrange, by yourself. It's not mandatory first visual should be here or second visual should be here. You can arrange as per the business requirement. If I talk about drill down, so drill down means you should have report on two pages. On first page, you have summary report. On second page, you have detailed report. So if I would like to give example, let's say you have sales of different year, which you are showing on the first page. Now you want to drill down on a specific month for the specific year, let's say 2020 sales of each month. Then you can drill down to another page. Okay, so don't worry again. Whenever we will do practical, then you will more understand. Now one question come, what is the difference between report and dashboard? So I hope you are aware about the concept of report at a high level, and whenever we will do practically, then you will more understand. So if you see here, page 1, page 2, and you can create multiple pages. So combination of pages we will call is report. Now dashboard. So dashboard basically it is a single page interface. It is often called a canvas. So the difference between report and dashboard is, in report you can create multiple pages. You have multiple pages in report, but in dashboard you have only single page. And dashboard, you don't create dashboard on Power BI desktop. You create dashboard on Power BI service. Actually, how you create dashboard? You create dashboard from Power BI report. So let's say you have, different pages. Let's say page 1, page 2, and then page 3. So in page 1, let's say you have some 5 visual, and here you have some 4 visual, and here you have again some 6 visual. While creating dashboard, what you can do, you can take 2 visual from first page, 2 visual from second page, and 3 visual from third page. So whatever the important information and whatever the key information which is mandatory for business, that we put on dashboard. So we always create dashboard from report only, but dashboard is a single page interface, and report you can create on multiple pages, and report you create on the Power BI desktop, and dashboard you create on Power BI service. I hope I'll able to answer your question. Okay, so it is already mentioned, because it is limited to one page. A well-designed dashboard contains only the most important elements of the story. So elements here is your specific visual. The visualization you see on the dashboard are called tiles and are pinned to the dashboard from report. So visualization you see on the dashboard are called tiles. So we call tiles as a specific visual. Okay, so these are the 4 important building blocks of Power BI, which is visualization, data set, reports, and dashboard. So this might be the interview question. What are the building blocks of Power BI? So you can answer this. And I have explained each and every one, like what exactly visual is, what exactly data set, report, and dashboard. Okay. Now let's talk about the mode. Import vs directory. What exactly this is? Actually, whenever you connect with the data, so you have different options: import, directory, and live connection. These are the 3 options. Okay. So basically, in import mode, Power BI store all your data into the Power BI cache. Import data connectivity mode lets you import data into Power BI cache. It is highly recommended to use import connection when the data size is less than 1 GB and data is not continuously changing. So basically, whenever if you are using free version, so data size limitation is 1 GB. Power BI desktop cannot store more than 1 GB data. But if you are using, of your organization Power BI, then it must have license version. Then the limit of that is 10 GB. So it is highly recommended to use import connection because it provides better performance. Power BI basically has a compressed engine, and basically it provide high performance. So that's the reason we prefer to use import connection. You can import data with schedule refresh to get the latest data. So it is again related to the gateway. With import connection, you can take full advantage of high performance query engine. As I already mentioned, Power BI has a high performance engine, so that's the reason it will provide the better query performance if you use import mode, because it will store all your data into a Power BI cache. Now, second one is direct query. So direct query connectivity mode lets you connect directly to data. Direct query mode used to build real-time or near real-time BI solution. So let's say your data source is SQL Server. So if you use direct query, your data will not store in any more into the Power BI. It will be available into the SQL Server only. Whenever you run your data, you run your query, it will always hit on direct query. Now the limitation or like disadvantage of direct query is maybe your database are using by multiple applications, then it might be slow, and sometime maybe there is some network issue on your database. And so there are basically different things. It also does not support all the DAX functions. So that's the reason we prefer to use import connection. But if we don't have any option at that time, we go for the direct query. Yes, this is first class. Okay. Now these are the some differences of import query and direct and live connection. Basically, third one is live connection. So live connection we use with the SSAS tabular model. So where basically you don't need to create data model into the Power BI. So mostly you use import mode in real-time scenario. Yes, for some extent we'll cover DAX. Now let's see some differences on import and direct query. So size up to 1 GB and up to 10 GB in license version. Direct query, no limitation. Data source, if I talk about import mode, so you can basically connect data from multiple sources. But if I talk about direct query, so data must come from a single source. Performance, it provides high performance query engine. Import mode, edge data store on Power BI cache. And direct query, it provide depending on the source response. As I have mentioned, there might be chance your application have other load as well. Okay, schedule refresh, you can maximum 8 schedules per day and schedule often as every 15 minutes. So schedule refresh is used to get the latest data with the help of gateway. So in import mode, you have only option to 8 schedules per day. You cannot schedule more than 8. But in direct query, you can schedule your data every 15 minutes. So there might be some business which gets updated on real time. So at that time, obviously direct query is useful when you need to when you want to work with the real time data. And again, data transformation, it supports all the transformation. It supports many data transformations. Data modeling, there is no limitation in import mode, but in direct query, there are some limitations. And DAX expression, it supports all the DAX expression, and it is restricted to use complex DAX functions such as time intelligence function. So also there is some restriction in direct query as a part of DAX functions. Okay, so this is all about high level overview of Power BI. In the next class, we are going to discuss about the data cleaning and transformation part. We will basically first connect the data. So yeah, in next class, we will do practical, then it would be more interested. What is DAX function? Actually I'll cover in the upcoming sessions, so that would be helpful. And for short answer, DAX is a basically programming language of Power BI. So if you need to do any calculation, for that you write DAX function. Let's say you have to calculate sales, and you have to filter some, let's say you have to calculate sale based on some country or based on some different condition. So for that you will use DAX. Okay, guys, thank you so much. If it is helpful for all of you, I'll share this recording on my channel, and then I'll provide you the link so you guys can go through. And also I'll share this PPT to you. Thank you, everyone.